Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and we're back once again with what I think will be an absolutely exceptional puzzle. And whenever you see a puzzle that looks a particular way, just beautifully constructed, either it's telling a story or highly geometrically rotational or symmetrical, you always feel like it's a lot of thought has gone into it, and you really look forward to actually solving it. As is the case with the rotation game from Dr. Logic, and we'll take a look at that in a second. Now, when I came across the title and the look of the puzzle, I was sort of flipping between it almost looks like a roulette wheel, which you can see essentially in this thumbnail, but at the same time, I was also thinking of Inception, the movie, where, the main character had a totem, a spinning top basically that he used to spin, and if it spins forever, then he knows he's in the dream world. If it actually topples over, then he knows he's in the real world. So I've kind of gone for a combination of the two, but I'm really excited about today's puzzle, so let's not put it off any longer. Let's take a look at what we have. So we've got the rotation game by Dr. Logic. And just look at this construction, this beautiful symmetry, kind of these lines outlining almost like a square in the middle that's slightly rotated, the thermometer in the middle as well that's kind of also rotating, the arrows slash thermometers, and essentially these cages as well in the sides, but corners of these green lines, also just sort of rotating as well. It's just beautiful. So, rule sets. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. With practice comes perfection. I can actually highlight these things relatively quickly now without selecting the odd box here and there outside it. Anyway, back onto the rule set. So we've got digits along a green German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. Many regular viewers of this channel will remember what this is. So essentially, imagine this is a 7. Then this would have to be 5 or more away, so 1 or 2. And then 5 or more away. Even if it's a 1, for example, this would have to be a 6 or higher. Now, what's interesting about German whispers is you end up with this oscillation between high digits, 6, 7, 8, or 9, low digits, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then you just repeat. And notice in my examples, I have not included the digit 5, and if you pause to think about it a moment, what digit can be 5 away that's allowed under normal Sudoku rules? Nothing. So, digits along the purple renban line must form a consecutive strings of digits in any order. And that's this line here going through row 5, where we've got a 7-cell renban line. So essentially it's either the digits 1 through to 7 in any order, or even all the way up to the digits 3 to 9 in any order. Looking at the construction of this puzzle, you'll be able to determine fairly quickly which one I'm talking about. 2 to 8 obviously would work as well. It just needs to be a run of 7 digits. What else do we have? There's certainly no shortage of rules today. So digits along the shaft of an arrow, we've got 2 of them here. So these are the shafts of the arrow, must sum to the number in the circle at the end. So this arrow, for example, has a sum. Let's say this is 1 or 2. Then that sum would have to go in here in this circle. Let's say it's a 3. What else do we have? I'm guessing thermometers and X's and cages. Let me just see if I've lost track of where I'm meant to be. So we've done arrows. Killer cages. Digits in a killer cage must sum to the small clue in the top left of the cage. So you've got an example of a cage here, outlined by this dashed line. And essentially what it's saying is all of these cells within this dashed line, these 3 cells, must add up to the sum that is shown here, which is 24. And we've got the same 24 cage here and the same 6 cages along the bottom and along the top. Okay. We also have black dots. So digits separated by a black dot must be in the ratio of 1 to 2. You've got a handful of them here, just the 3. And essentially, if I put a 2 on one of them, then you know the other one has to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So that could be a 1 or it could be a 4. It couldn't be any other digit because it has to be a multiple of 2 away from it. Not all black dots are given. And digits separated by an x must sum to 10. We've got 2 of them here. And all it's saying is, for example, if this is a 4, these 2 digits must sum up to 10, therefore this would be a 6. And same obviously would be true across this x. We're still not done with the rules. Last one we have is a clue outside the grid are the sum of digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row/column. We really only have one such digit today, which is the 5. And what that means is they're usually called sandwich clues. If this is a 1 and this is a 9, then whatever the values are between them must sum up to 5. Another example could be that the 9 is all the way here. I mean, that's a bad example because it's on a black crop key dot, but what that means is these 2 cells are in between them must be adding up to 5, and that would be 2, 3 as an example. Well, as I said, no shortage of rules. If you are feeling lucky, I mean, I'm certainly not condoning gambling here. Definitely don't run down to your casino and say, Sleuth said I should be playing a little bit of roulette right now. But if you're feeling lucky, you want to play the rotation game, link will be in the description down below as per usual. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how we got on. Now, I did say the renban line, if you take a look at the construction, you can actually tell which one it is. And the reason is I spotted these killer cages. A 24 killer cage, of which we have 2 of. And they're all 3 cells, can only be made of the digits 7, 8, and 9. Essentially, any other combination other than the maximum possible cells will not get to 24. Now, the same thing is true for the 6 killer cage, where the absolute minimum, which is 1, 2, and 3, is the only way you can get to a 6. So these are 1, 2, and 3. These are 7, 8, and 9. Now, going back to the renban line for a second, I said this is either the digits 1 through to 7, or 2 through to 8, or 3 through to 9. Now, if I pick anything other than 1 through to 7, I will break this puzzle. And the reason I say that is, if I go through 2 to 8 for a second, well, I've removed 7 and 8 as a possibility because they're on this renban line. And somehow I now need to add a 1 outside of this renban line and still get to a sum of 24. Clearly not a possible task. So these are not 1s. Clearly they are 8 and 9. This is 1 through to 7. The fact that there is no 8 tells us on these black crop key dots that they are either 3, 6 or 2, 4. I'm just going to pencil mark all of them right now, but I think this thermometer here is going to prevent a few options like this is not a 2, otherwise we're going to be at 1, 0, and -1 somehow on this thermometer. But that's all the combinations, and these are... no, I made a mistake here. I could actually have 1 with the 2. One of them has a 2 for sure. The 5s and 7s, because they can't be on a black crop key dot, are on the outside. But actually take a look at the 7s. They're not in here. They're not there. They're not there. That's a 7 in the middle. And one of these is a 5 joint with the missing one from the black crop key. Because it's either 1, 2 or 2, 4. And then the other one is 3, 6. So this is 1, 4, and 5. Just a quick refresher on black crop key dots. You almost have essentially this grouping of dots. You can either have kind of a run of digits from 1, 2, 4, or 8, a run of digits from 3 or 6. I say a run, it's a very short run of only 2. And then the other digits that cannot be part of a black crop key dot would be the 5s, 7s, and 9s. So the second I eliminated the 8, I knew that there was a set that was from 1, 2, and 4. Clearly the 2 had to be part of it. There was a set that was 3 and 6. And then, like I said, the 5s and the 7s had to be outside it. The 9s are already taken care of. All right, let's put all of that aside. Let's just see if we can figure out some other things here. We've got polarity on all of these German whispers lines now. So I am going to color these as high. High as in thermometer high. And then low as in, again, thermometer low, so cold. So all of these are low. I don't know if I'm going to persist with the coloring, if I'm honest, but I am going to just finish these off for now as a reminder that these are low. Which is actually quite helpful because you got 1, 2, and 3. This is a low digit. That's a 4. That's a 6. That's a double 1. And I'm guessing the same down here. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. That's a 4. That's a 6. That's a double 1 again. These are not 1s. These are not 1s either. There is a 1 on this now, just normal Sudoku. You've got that. This is not a 1. This is clearly not a 1 on the German Whispers line. That is the 1. So that's a freebie there. I imagine we've got something similar going on here. Yep, that's the other 1. I think that's almost all the 1s done, haven't we? No. Because we've got, that's not a 1. That's not a 1. Meaning it's a 1, 2, and 3, 6, because we've got a 4, 5 pair here. So 4 does not belong there, nor here. 6 is not there, therefore it's not here either. 6 is not here, therefore there's no 3. Again, we'll come back to the thermometer that will tidy up the middle immensely for us, but we're off to an excellent start with quite a few digits, and we're not far off the solution, it feels like. Yeah, let's keep going. So, thermometers. So, thermometers, I actually didn't even read the rule set for it, nor explain what they are, so excuse the fact that I'll take a moment to do so. Essentially, imagine that this is a thermometer, and you're essentially at the bulb end is the lowest digit, and then it increases, as thermometers do, as you go up. Now, take a look at what's going on here. You know that nothing is lower than 1. These can't be 1. Therefore, these cannot be 2. 1 can only ever really go on the bulb. Now, take a look at this 2. If it's a 2, I did say it will have to be 1, 0, and -1. That tells us an order. And we kind of, yeah, that's almost all the information we can take out of it at this point, almost. This 2 gives us the 3, the 2, the 3, the 2. There is a 4 with Sudoku in box 5, and it can only be here. This is looking at a 2, therefore this can only be an 8. I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit quickly today. It's just kind of hard to pause when things are just unraveling so easily. It's just an incredible puzzle. I need a 3 in this box. It's not there. It's got to be in here. I don't know if I can really do a lot more at this point with box 5. I may have to leave it alone and just look elsewhere for a second. And when I say look elsewhere, take a look at these corners now. They all see 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So the corners can only be from 4, 5, and 6. Although these 2, we've already got 6 in the box. They're not 6s either. Now, I've got a 1 here, I've got a 1 there. If this was a 4, I'd need to put 1 and 3 in here, and I no longer can. So neither of these are 4. And it's either, with a 5, it's either 2, 3, or with a 6, because I can't use the 1, it's 2, 4. So 2, 3, or 4, that's not 3 or 4. All of these are low digits. And we've got a very similar setup here, 2, 3, and 4. That's not 4. This could be 4. Yeah, it's not quite rotationally symmetrical, but very nearly. And notice now that's all 4 digits placed. Just incredible. That's all the low digits that we can have. So that's 2, 3, that would be 4. If this is 2, 4, that would be 3. Remember, the 2 has to be on here, actually. I mean, I don't really want to sort of corner pencil mark that because it's on a diagonal, but given there has to be a 2. 3 and 4 would add up to 7, which is too high. Now, this is definitely a 4. There's definitely a 4. None of these are 4. There has to be a 4 here. I can do better. Yeah, I can definitely do better. So, take a look at this. We've got the same setup again. 4s, 4, eliminating 4 from all of these. Now notice I had 4 in the 2 right-hand columns of this box, and 4 is clearly not here because of the 7, 8, and 9. So if you think around it, the 4 has to be somewhere in here, has to be somewhere in there. I've eliminated all of these 4s. These 4s have eliminated these for me. This has to be a 4. And it's, I think, the exact same logic. Yeah, none of these. So the 4 is somewhere in here. Well, not there. So none of these either. That's the 4. Beautiful puzzle. So 5. I don't know if I want to pencil mark these just yet, but I will pencil mark. So this is not a 7 now because the minimum this is a 3. And we've got the same sort of setup in here. Minimum is a 3, so that's 8 or 9. This is, well, 7, 8, or 9. It's not helpful. It's already eliminated the 6. Yeah, not too helpful here. 2 has to be on there. Can't put a 2 in here, otherwise I can't get to 5 or 6. This is 3 or 4, therefore not a 7 either. And actually, we've eliminated 7 from 2 locations. These are both 7s now. I selected 2 boxes, I thought. Well, there you go, 2 cells. Done. Look at that, 2, 3, 4. We've got all the low digits. Where are 2, 3 going in column 1? Could only be in here. And I'm guessing it'll be a very similar thing in here. Yeah, this cannot be a low digit. These are the low digits for 2 and 3. We've got a 2, 3. We've got all the low digits now basically pencil marked / colored in the grid, haven't we? Done in all of these boxes. Not these boxes though. We haven't got these, which is actually quite interesting. We haven't even got the 3 in the center either. So can I figure that out? 3, not really. Yeah, this can be a 3, so it doesn't even restrict the 3 in one of the columns. That's odd. So right, we'll keep going. What else do we know? We've got basically everything pencil marked here except this cell. So that's the other 5, 6. 5, 6, 5, 6. This has to be, well, I mean, they're all 7, 8, and 9. We've got all the low digits. I can't put 6 in here. So this is from 5, 7, 8, or 9. I guess so are all of these. For a second then I thought it's forcing a 5 down here, but that is not true. No, it is. This 6 here means that there are no 6s in these 2 cells. I need a 6 on row 9. That's the 6. That's the 5. Therefore, this is 5, 7, 8, 9. And the interesting bit here is now that tells us the order. This is a 2 and a 4 and a 3. 4 is in here now. 2 is there. Not enough still. That's not a 7 though. No 7s in here. So, we knew there's no 5 anyway. So this is 5, 7, or 8. And this is 7, 8, or 9. Not hugely helpful. Feels like I'm sort of fizzling out at this point, but, well, 5, 6, 5, 6. Let's just see if we can apply the same rotational logic around here. Yeah, no 6s here. means the 6 has to be on this side. Therefore, that's the 5. That's the 6. This cannot be a 3. This cannot be a 3. It has got to be 2 and 4. This is the only way around it can be. That's a 3 surrounded by an 8, 9 again. That's correct. And now we've got 7, 8, and 9 with a 7 for sure in here. And same thing, 5, 7, 8, or 9 with a 5 for sure in here, actually. Yeah, that's a 5. Therefore, that's not a 5. And therefore, that's not a 7. 7 is not down here. 7 is up here. So we've got something going on the same here. That's 7 or 8. That's 8 or 9. Notice the 8 and 9 symmetry here. Sorry, pair. Forcing this again to be a 7. That's not 7. That's the other 8, 9. Beautiful puzzle. What more can I do in here? I can remove the 7. I can remove the 8, 9 as well. That's definitely a 5. 8, 9 pair. Yeah, that's definitely the 5. That's definitely the 7. Yeah, that's good. That's all of that done. So we know what these are. That's surely 1 and 2. Yeah, to finish the column. And I suspect we know what this is. This is 4, 5, and 6 by the looks of things. Except that's not 4. That's not 6. I'm guessing we're going to have something very similar in here. Yep, that's kind of similar. That's 2 or 3. And then again, 4, 5, 6. And again, that's not 4. That's not 6. Very nearly at the home stretch now. 2, 3. You've got the 2 looking at this. That's the 3. That's the 2. 3, 2. 8 looking at this for a while. I mean, I don't know how I missed that. That was totally obvious. 9, 8. 8, 9. 8, 9. Yeah, so that's kind of why this black crocky dot exists, just to disambiguate all these 8, 9s in a very fashionable way, let's call it. 5 and 6 pair. We've got the other 2 high digits. We've got 1 in here, which is another 8, 9 in the middle, and one of 1, 2, and 3. Since it's not 1 and 2, it's got to be the 3. Therefore, it's got to be this 3. And that's got to be 8, 9. Yeah. Therefore, that's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. I need another 8, 9, and a 5. Don't know where the 8, 9 is, but I do know the 5 is down here. Eliminating the 5 as an option from in here. We can probably finish these now. So this is 5 and 9. Actually can't finish it. Look at that, another 5 and 9. Well, 5 and 9 pair in column 5. We know what this is. 6, I'm going to say. And I know I have a 7 and 8, which shockingly is still not resolved. Then we have 6 and 7, I'm going to say. That is resolved, which resolves the 8 and 7. And these are 5, 8, and 9. That's not 8. There's an 8 in here somewhere. But that's not how we're going to resolve this. This is a 3. It's not going to give us the 9. This is a 3. It's not going to give us the 8 or 9. Sandwich clue. Yep, that's the last clue we haven't used yet. So, I need a 5 between the 1 and the 9. The 1 is here. That's the 5. That's the 9. That's the 8. Can I finish this from here? I'm fairly sure I can. Oh yeah, 5 gives me everything in here. 4, 6, 4, 5, 8 and 9. The 9 gives me the 5 that's in here. That's an 8. 5, 9, 5. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's the answer to today's puzzle. Beautiful puzzle, Dr. Logic. Absolutely incredible. Really loved it. I think it's just absolutely incredible. It's just pure joy running around this circle, basically, resolving it all with, I would say, fairly easy deductions. But, spotting that, for example, these are 4s, 5s, and 6s. We got 1, 2, and 3, and 7, 8, 9, staring at all the corners, using the thermometer to help resolve it. It's just beautifully constructed. I just cannot think of anything better to describe it around how it all comes together. So thank you very much for creating it, Dr. Logic. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it, as well as today's puzzle. Let me know in the comments as usual. And with that said, see you back for the next one. Bye for now.